General liability insurance is needed for construction operations. There's a general liability for the construction operations. There's also builder's risk. As it relates to named insureds, we've got to make sure that the named insureds are listed on the general liability and the builder's risk policy. And this should also be listed on the auto policy. It should also be listed on, now when you finish the construction on your policy, you need to move it off of the general liability policy onto an occupied property policy. Occupied property policy is critical because you're now a real estate operation, you're not a construction operation. Named insured still stays on the general liability for products and completed operations. Now, if you have an executive risk policy in place for management liability, executive risk, they need to make sure the named insureds are on there too. Usually they extend coverage for subsidiaries, which are those that have 50% or more common ownership. But in a real estate situation where the different LLCs are for different projects, that wouldn't necessarily apply. So you have everything that's considered a subsidiary based on the ownership, and then everything else that's not should be named on the policy, directors and officers. And builder's risk should also list all the projects. General liability should list all the projects. Once it's completed, it moves to the real estate policy. The auto policy should keep all the named insureds on there as well. And these are things to think of when you've got general liability policies and additional named insureds.